This is Writing Daily. Hey, all, my name is Devin, and every day we talk about writing daily. This is my podcast. Welcome. For those who don't know, I'm the editor-in-chief of In the Know Traveler and the author of the forthcoming 10,000 Miles with My Dead Father's Ashes. Why are we here? We are here to love and talk about writing. And here's something crazy. This is episode 50. Episode 50. That means every day for 50 days I have been here with you talking about books and writing and how to write better and more often. And so as I've discussed it before on my Facebook page, but I wanted to make a specific video about the query letter that I think was the one that sold my book. Matter of fact, I know that it is the query that is associated. It is the query that got me the invitation to send my manuscript and eventually my marketing plan and all the pieces that got the ball rolling before contracts were signed and everything else, because you got to start somewhere. And whether you're looking for an agent or a publisher or somebody who's going to help fund your projects, you have to start somewhere. And so it's a lot to ask of somebody to read a 80,000 word manuscript. It is far less to have them read a one-page breakdown of what it is that they're going to be getting in that manuscript and whether or not it's worth their time. So today I just wanted to read to you what it is that I wrote. I'm going to post this on devingalaudet.com. And it is somewhere. I couldn't find it on my Facebook Devin Galaudet authors site. So here it is, the query. I stood in the living room in bare feet with the cold hardwood floors beneath me and the phone's springy cord wrapped around my knuckle. I waited for and expected this call for years. Her unfamiliar voice told me my father had died. The sobs came in spite of everything he taught me. She continued, "Your dad wants to return home to Spain, to be scattered off the coast of Cadiz while Ave Maria is sung. It was his last wish." Without any sense of irony in her voice, I heard the subtle ring of Dad's colossal bullshit. Even through my tears, even though we had not spoken in years, I knew my father's line of nonsense. Dad wasn't from Spain. He had never left America. My father was a con man who sold oil wells that didn't belong to him and who left my mother and me on welfare. Ave Maria was just the cherry on top. He was a con man right to the very end, and while I cried, I wondered what angle he was using. Beyond the absurdity of his final request, there were a few truths I understood as I hung up the phone. He was my unreliable, often crappy father, and still my hero. I didn't care that the voice on the other end of the receiver was his seventh wife or what Spanish sunset he needed to see through her eyes. Scattering him was my birthright, and I knew that he, quite literally, would fall into my lap one day. It was my job to take my father and pour him into the waters of Cadiz, Spain, in spite of his best efforts to make me hate him. Because, like it or not, our personal history danced in my mind between the painfully laughable and cartoonishly unfinished, and the thought of him still made me want to tell bullshit stories and swill beer just like him. And for many years, I nailed it. He did fall into my lap, and I carried him across Spain by car, train, and backpack. This was our swan song buddy picture come to life, except that one of the buddies was dead. And then I lost my dad's ashes a half a mile from our appointment with the Mediterranean Sea. I stood in the middle of a windy cobblestone street in Old Town Cadiz, feeling like I had just been kicked in the stomach, wondering what the fuck just happened. Not just in that moment, but the 40 years prior. This is a wild-eyed history of secret family stories that includes 50 stolen cars, sacred African fertility dolls, a Death Vader mask-wearing junkie, a mysterious secret family, a Playboy magazine found in a sewer hidden next to a toilet paper-wrapped Downers, Vegas hooker with one impressive breast, a hero's journey and traveling across the world with a black jog that contained my father in my rolling suitcase. 10,000 miles with my dead father's ashes is a cross between Jeanette Walls' The Glass Castle and J.R. Moringer's The Writer of the Tender Bar. So, wow, I should have practiced reading this like 40 times before I did that with you today. But that said, there we are. And I see Morgana Ray has joined us, so welcome. And so what we're talking obviously about is getting this type of work done. So it has to start somewhere. Yes, do I want you to absolutely finish your novel? Totally. And when you do, the next thing you want to focus on is your query letter, the thing that is going to inspire somebody to read page 1 of your book, somebody who may become your agent, maybe become your publisher, and a whole variety of things. And so it's a fun story, and I think you're going to love it. But that's how I started it. I started it by kind of sitting down, and I can't think of a better way to sort of kick off our next 50 what is it? Somebody's doing a lot of liking down at the bottom, so I'm colossally grateful, and I hope you're doing the same. Please hit the like button. Please follow me, do all that kind of good stuff. But most importantly, have a mind of okay, if you're writing a big story, keep in mind you're going to absolutely want to be able to condense it and give just enough that is going to inspire somebody to go, okay, this is something that I absolutely want to take a look at. And I think it's important stuff, and I hope, and I'm still getting all the likes at the bottom of the screen, which warms my heart. So I think that's what we've got today, because today, for me anyway, is tax days. That means I have to go through tons of paperwork and highlight all the stuff that are deductions. You guys know how this is. It's a big drag, and that's why I'm unshaven. I'm wearing stripes, even though my wife hates that idea. And we're going to be back to Writing Daily, episode number 51 tomorrow. But in the meantime, always know that there is a box where you can just leave a comment, like it, where you have a question, what's going on with your own writing. Allow me to help you be the best writer that you can, because again, we do this daily. So let's keep forming our community. It's wonderful to see you, and I will see you guys again tomorrow. Thanks so much for joining me.